Hello, everyone. Welcome to English with Daniel. In this episode, I'm very excited to bring you an outstanding guest. His name is Daniel. He took the C1 advanced exam not long ago, and he got outstanding scores. He basically aced the C1 advanced exam. So I hope you find this interview as enlightening as I did. I really like the way he approached his preparation to the exam, and I really hope that you get the most out of it, just as I did. Daniel is an ESL teacher, just so you know a bit about his background. He also speaks Spanish, and he's been studying English for some years and teaching it as well. So there you have it. Hope you enjoy it. All right, so I'm very excited to finally be here, Daniel. To be honest, it's been like 6 months probably since you took the exam,
Yeah,
and 6 months about so, right?
kind of in November.
Yeah, November, December, around those days,
Yeah,
and it yeah, it took me a while to finally get this going, but I'm happy that you finally have you here and talk about all of your experience. You know.
my experience. Well, first of all, I have to say good morning. Good morning, Daniel, and thank you for inviting me. But my experience with exam, it was kind of a dream came true.
Mm.
Many years ago, when I started uh, first studying vocabulary, grammar. So for me, I never thought my teachers told me when you feel ready, you can take the exam. You have to study 2 or 3 years, and after that, you are going
Mm.
to take exams little by little. From the basic level to our, you can enhance little by little. And to be honest, I never thought that I was going to get it,
Mm.
but well, just like they said, little by little, I started with basic vocabulary, grammar, little by little with words,
Mm.
phrases, idioms. Idioms are
Mm.
sometimes tricky,
Yeah,
but
there's
well,
so many too.
yeah, obviously, and it depends of the context, expression, the voice that they use. Well, it's really difficult sometimes to understand an idiom, but little
Yeah,
by little.
yeah, because I feel like if you really like go crazy over idioms and you just start learning a bunch, but you don't really pay attention to how to use it or when is the right context to use
Yeah,
it, you are risking sounding like a bit awkward or weird or like out of context, right?
yeah, and it's a really problem if you don't use this correctly and somebody misunderstands.
Mm-hmm.
uh, they are going to eyeball you, or perhaps they will answer something different,
Mm-hmm.
and well, you don't want that, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Yeah,
but
definitely. So let's start just by talking like about your journey, like how we all started in regards to just about English, right? Like how long have you been studying English for?
studying English, I started in 2010, so almost 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
15 years, and this started like a game. To be honest, I never thought I was going to teach, or I was going to be in this level, and I don't want to be smug, but but I have to I have to say that if I compare myself with the
Mm.
Daniel from 2010 and the Daniel here in 2025, well, I can say that I have learned a lot, and I I I want to keep because I don't know everything so far. There are a lot of things that I'm able to learn, or I will learn in the next month, in the next year. So yeah, but the journey has been fun
Mm-hmm.
because mm, all these years I've been uh, having fun, not only learning but teaching as well.
Mm-hmm.
I like teaching. This is something that I like when I step in front of I don't know, a bunch of students, 10, 15, it depends, but I like when they come and they say, English is terrible, I hate English, this is horrible, this is not my cup of tea, I will never speak English. Okay, sit down, calm down first, calm down and pay attention to me. We are going to talk about this. Also, I start doing this, little by little. I teach you something, I give you some techniques, some advice, and at the end, after 2, 3 hours, they say, "Oh, but this wasn't so difficult as I thought before."
Mm-hmm.
I like that moment when they
Mm-hmm.
change, from this is terrible until, oh, I understand now. That's my most exciting part.
And how did you choose to become a teacher? Like, where did that come from?
Well, in my family, my mother was a teacher. My father is a teacher as well. And to be honest, sometime when I was at university and I finished that, I I was trying to get a job because I had some debts and I didn't have money to pay for. So I started, like I told you, like a game because I had a cousin and she called me, Daniel, I need you teach me or you explain this because I don't understand. And I started like that. And the next week I started teaching some of her friends. And yeah, like that, I got one student here, another there. Suddenly I became a private teacher. I applied for an institute and they called me. They said, okay, I'm going to give you some students. You can go to their houses. So I started with private classes.
Mm-hmm.
And after 2, 3 years, I'm not sure about it, but I applied for another institute. I entered. They liked what I did, and yeah, I'm keep going here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very similar to my experience, to be honest. I feel like probably most teachers start by, tutoring or private lessons, helping students with their homework, that kind of thing. And then, take the next step and start teaching, like what it comes to be like from one student to 10 students or maybe more, depending on the where you work.
Yeah.
Right. Very well.
And
So
when did you start
I
with this?
think I guess teaching like a nephew or something like that. It must have been like when I was in university. So say 2000, between 2012 and 2018. Um, but formally teaching like a classroom of, actually in my case I started teaching like a school class in during because of the lockdown, and it was like 30 students. So yeah, it was a pretty crazy experience, man.
Everything by internet.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Virtually, those classrooms where you wouldn't see the faces of your students.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was difficult in that time, but I guess it was a nice experience. To be honest, to teach online, uh, it has a good advantage. Consider that I have students not only from Chiclayo, but from Lima,
Mm-hmm.
Piura, others from Mexico. I
Mm-hmm.
had students from Colombia, from people that lived in, I don't remember now, but it's a speaking English country. Well, to be honest, I don't remember the name now, but I
Mm-hmm.
have taught students from different parts of the world, and you know, it's kind of a good or a exciting way to learn, to gather everyone here looking at the screen, and they are spread around the world. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely, definitely. English allows you to connect in that way with not only people that speak Spanish as well and trying to learn English, but people that speak, you know, who a language that you might not even know it even existed, but thanks to English you can communicate.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's jump straight into the exam, the C1 Advanced. That's the exam that you took, right?
Right.
How long did you prepare for the exam?
Hmm. In that case, I don't want to be precise because, to be honest, I don't prepare like like that. I mean, I'm not a kind of person that is going to take a book or a specific course and for a specific period of time. Well, I'm not that kind of person. I study English every day,
Mm-hmm.
every moment. I open, a website and I watch some movies or a podcast that I like. On YouTube, for example, there are videos about grammar, and it's kind of my hobby. In my free time, I open a video and I see the explanation of present simple versus present continuous. And well, for me, I'm not studying. I'm just watching something to have fun, to relax, and it's kind of my way to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, that's very good, right? Because I feel like I did something similar, or just like you, it's something that is just a habit, right? It's not really something that extra that you do when you're preparing for the exam. I also, would open Instagram and I would have a post related from the BBC Learning English, and they're talking about, I don't know, prepositions, for example. And there's always, in 1 minute you learn something new, or you maybe reflect on something that maybe you didn't, because that's the thing with any kind of topic, even if it's something as simple as the present simple, there is something that there's always like something, a nuance, something different, or that you maybe never really thought of. And you can always, that's a good thing, I think. I consider about the, sorry, I think, let me see if my camera
your,
fit.
your camera is dark.
Yeah, let me see.
Oh no, but what you said was true, completely
Mm-hmm.
true. Because, for example, when I started, I was taught that present simple is used for routines. You know, I wake up, you shower, she watches TV. I don't know, everything related with routines. I never knew in that moment, after 2 or 1 year, I'm not sure, that I could use present simple to talk about future.
Mm.
And I learned that watching videos, watching, just like you said, a short reel from YouTube, from Instagram, from different platforms, and I knew that present simple could be also used to talk about future. So for me, it's kind of, oh my god, I know something new, and it's amazing for me.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So that's good, right? I think that there's just so many options that you can have to be connected, or to be always in touch with the language, right? Not. I'm not saying just studying grammar or that kind of thing, but learning like a new phrase, or just by listening to somebody speaking English, you might pick up on a new phrase or idiom or expression, and you think, oh, that's interesting. Like, well, what do they mean by that, right? So then you start, doing some research, and you start learning how to use it, what it means, the equivalent of Spanish, maybe, so you can know, get a good sense or a good grip.
Especially words or phrases that are not translated literally.
Hmm.
when you
Yeah.
when you translate literally, you get loose immediately. So much better to get the full sense, and then you sometimes you add, sometimes you take off some words. But that's what I love about English and languages, in fact.
Yeah, right. That in spite of dedicating years and years, you always continue to learn, right? Um, that's something that I was actually talking about with Miss Glorinda as well. She's
Mhm.
preparing for the C1 advanced exam, and it's that's the thing, right? It's a challenging exam for her, which is for most people.
Yeah.
It's not an easy exam, of course. And I said, yeah. So there's a lot of. I think it's applaudable the fact that you are actually studying, preparing, and you made up your mind to take the exam, because there's a lot of teachers, colleagues, or whatever people that actually are always postponing. They're like, yeah, maybe next year, right? But they never get to do it, right? They're always running away from the exam.
Yeah, because, well, to be honest, and these kind of exams, well, they require a lot, especially a bit. Well, for me, I required a lot of listening skill.
Hmm.
Uh, to be honest, for me, listening was and has been always the most difficult skill to develop. Um, I studied English in an institute for 3 years, and when I finished, I thought, "Oh my God, now I'm graduated." Uh, but I felt bad with myself because I couldn't understand when I watched when I watched somebody, a foreign speaker, and I listened to him, to her. I couldn't understand, and I
Hmm.
thought, oh my God, I am bad. What happened with me? Because I can't understand. It's supposed that I'm in advanced level, and I can't. I have to reduce the speed. Sometimes I had to pause the video, and well, I felt bad. Uh, Little by little, I
Yeah.
understood that well, it's a progress. It's progressive.
Hmm.
You have to. Well, I had to practice a lot of listening, to be honest. And well, now I am not perfect. There are some words that slip that I don't understand. That sometimes they speak too fast, and I have to pause the video. But as I told you before, if I compare myself with a Daniel here in 2025 with a Daniel in 20, let's suppose 2015, I can understand much better now. It's interesting how this. I mean, your brain can be can getting used to the
Hmm.
words, to the
Hmm.
constructions, to the accents.
Yeah, right. It's funny because sometimes you would turn off the subtitles and suddenly you stop understanding what they're saying, right?
Yeah, this has happened. This has
Yeah.
happened all the time. So that's why
Yeah.
when I hear my students saying, "But why should I watch a clip, a movie in English? I don't understand anything. I prefer to change it into Spanish." Well, that's what I always tell them. This has happened to me. uh, I didn't understand anything, but your brain, your ear is going to get in use. It doesn't matter if you don't understand anything now. Do it. Do it once, three
Hmm.
times, 11 times, 1,000 times. In that way, at the end, you are going to train your brain, your ear, and you are going to understand, to get what they say.
Yeah, yeah, it's different, right? If you listen for just for pleasure, just to relax something, it's different compared to listening for studying, right? Because for studying you're going to be, if you run into a new word, you have to pause, look up the word in the dictionary, maybe look at some examples, take notes, maybe, so you know you can go back to them. Uh, so it's and then not even 5 seconds later happens the same. That's an again you have to pause. So it's not as you know sitting back and relaxing and watching a show. Maybe you understand a word, but you just try to understand from context. So it's two different things, right?
Yeah, and something that it helped me a lot was the to follow the script. I well, just like you said, not learning for pleasure, but also for the exam. I play the audio and I try to follow the script. When you follow that, you're going to see new words, new ways to pronounce that, linking words, linking phrases that it's going to. When you read, you see that oh, that's what they say, and it's easy. It's not so difficult as it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice way to learn. I guess
Yeah.
that's what happened to me.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So when you were preparing for the exam, what was your approach? Like, what did you focus most on?
I usually try to go for listening and reading. Well, as I mentioned, listening was my nightmare. It was kind of a boogeyman, but also reading, because when you go for an exam, you have specific time, and you can spend too much on trying to understand literally what the text is about. You have to go really fast because time goes by, and if you lose 30 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
40 minutes in one text, at the end you are not going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to do it really fast, try to get the message here with a question. So for me, it's really hard to get that, but because of the time, maybe time in an exam like that plays an important role.
Mm-hmm.
And you have
So
to
time
do it.
management was something that you really emphasized a lot when you were preparing.
Yeah, yeah, because well, if you, like as I said, if you don't manage your time, at the end you are not going to get neither 20% of the exam, and you notice that, oh my god, 5 minutes left, and there are two texts missing, and no, that's impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, so you started, sorry, let's just pause for the noise.
Don't worry.
All right, so let's talk about speaking. How did you feel about the skill? Um, was that something that you really worked on a lot, or something just came in naturally?
No, for me, speaking is easy, I guess. I don't know why, but I have an ability to to create. What can I say? To create stories, to create answers in my mind. Um, I I can't make up an answer in seconds. It's an ability that I have. If you ask me for something, maybe I will think about it 1 second, 2 seconds, but immediately I create, and I speak, and I get examples, and I see my surroundings, and I get answers for that question, and that's something that I always do for writing. For me, speaking and writing, maybe they are the easiest skills on an exam. Uh, Example: when I went to the exam, I was asked for an opinion about global the current global world, and how this works nowadays. I mean,
The
Peru is a
discussion.
country um, that sells goods to USA, Canada, China, well, and we also buy some kind of thing. So imports, exports. I could do writing in a short time. I'm not sure now, but I guess I finished the two texts in 30 minutes. I I had some time left to see, to correct mistakes that I made on the exam. So speaking and writing, they are kind of easy for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's impressive, right? Because I feel like most people preparing for the writing part, they generally, sometimes they will ask you talk about something like what you had, right? Global trade, economy. Like, not there's not that many people that and you kind of have to come up with, you know, anything, right? It doesn't have to be factual. It can be, you can invent, but yeah, that's I feel like that's impressive. So, what do you remember what you chose for part two? What kind of writing?
What kind of writing? I am not sure now, but I guess it was a letter.
Hmm.
It was a letter. I don't. I am not sure. This slips my mind now, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, it was about a new colleague,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to write a letter for something that he made wrong, I guess, or
Mm-hmm.
to remember to remind him something to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure now. I guess I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a bit of a, you know, work environment, formal tone that you had to include.
Yeah, that's what I was asked to write about. But as I said, writing for me it's kind of easy. I guess it's an ability because I can take a text. I write a title, and I don't know why, but I continue write, and sometimes I go over the 200. I'm not sure now, but I guess it's 210 words that you have to complete for the writing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
and
that's
I
the max.
go more
Mm-hmm.
over. It's easy. Well, not easy. I mean, because you need the vocabulary, right? And you need to have the good the good structure or the right
Mm-hmm.
structure for that. But writing is kind of my ability.
Mm-hmm. Very well. Um, let's. I'm curious about your mindset on the day of the exam. Like, did you feel nervous? Did you feel very confident? What was like your mindset? How did you feel? How do you prepare?
Um, I didn't prepare my mindset. To be honest, I remember that I woke up too early that day because I worked in the morning. I had a group in Global English. I had a group, and I had to work until 12, I guess. So I was teaching in the morning. I had lunch immediately, really fast. I went to the exam because my exam was supposed to start at 2, I guess. No,
Mm-hmm.
1, I'm not sure, but it started 1 hour later.
Okay.
So I I am not conscious the of how much I am risking on. Or I be conscious after that. The next day, I thought, oh my god, yesterday was the exam. It was it was something really hard, something tough, and I worried the next day. The previous day I was so quiet, so relaxed, I slept really well. But the next day, I remember it was on Sunday, I was thinking, oh my god, I made a mistake on that. What if I don't pass the exam? What happens if I don't know, if they don't read my text, or and let me tell you an anecdote. I remember when I was in the exam, and I received the sheet, right, the paper sheet,
Mm-hmm.
and my code was on the top,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't remember the code now, but on the table there was another piece of paper stuck on the table, to
Yeah.
for the
Mm-hmm.
for the examiner recognize your code, the paper on the board on the table, and the paper on the sorry, the code on your piece of sheet.
Mm-hmm.
In my case, they were different.
Didn't
I,
match.
I
Okay.
had different codes. I didn't notice until the end of the exam. I I remember
Did
that.
that cause any trouble?
Yeah, because I called the girl who was watching us, And I told her, look at this one. I said, on my paper sheet there's a code, and here on the table there's another. My name, I don't know, it's my name is related with the paper and with the code on the table, because on the screen, right? My the code on the screen was similar to the exam, but not similar to the paper on the table. So they verified that they changed the code. They wrote my name separately, right, to
Mm-hmm.
have the same code
Mm-hmm.
on their paper sheets.
All
And
right.
you
No
know
harm done.
yeah, at the end I was thinking that, my God, what if my exam get loose and they don't read my exam carefully and I don't pass the exams? So my worries happened the next day.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's interesting, right? That I guess all the bustle of the day didn't allow you to even think or overthink. Probably what most people do is do that, right? They overthink about the exam. Oh my God, it's today. What am I going to do in this part? And uh, that's generally what causes them to not perform as they wished, right?
Most people forget what they prepared for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this has happened to me.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
not
definitely.
not on the exam, but when I started teaching. I remember that the first time that I was in front of a group of 20, I suppose I remember, I forgot everything. I had prepared I had prepared my class, and no, when I stepped in front of them, I was mute. I was speechless, and everyone was looking at me, expecting for me to say something. I was mute. But this
Mm-hmm.
this happened the first time. And next, or little by little, I lost my nervous. But for exam, as I told you, the previous day was good. No problem for me. My problems came the second day.
Mm-hmm. Very well. Well, in the end, I think that was for the best. You end up having an outstanding score.
Mhm.
You got grade 8 across all of your skills,
Yeah,
right?
I get it.
So yeah, that's actually very, very impressive. Um, all right. So anything, maybe like some final tips or anything that you want to say before we close the interview?
No, in fact, not really. Just, well, as I told you, if you are going to learn or you want to enhance something, do it like a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you pressure yourself on, I have to learn this, I have to learn that, I have to practice this, uh, this doesn't work for me. Do it like a hobby. Free time, in a moment that you are doing nothing, 1 minute, 2 minutes, you learn new phrase, new word. That's going to help you too much, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's excellent advice because so many people might burn out from just studying, like doing sample or mock tests over and over again, over focusing on too much on grammar, and at the end of the day, they happen to just give up and not even want to think about the exam anymore. So I think that's an excellent point of view, right? Treat it like a hobby, enjoy the language. That's kind of how it all started.
Yeah, this is what has been useful for me. Well, I guess that's what students must do to learn. It it won't be it won't be stressful if you do it in that way.
Mm-hmm, definitely. All right. Well, I think that was very valuable. I'm very thankful for your time, Daniel. I hope you. I really enjoyed the conversation. I was interested in knowing your experience, how you prepare for such a demanding exam. So yeah, congratulations on your
Thank
very
you.
impressive score.
Thank you for that. And yeah, it was a pleasure to be here today with you and well exchanging these thoughts, experiences. It's really nice to learn or to listen some kind of experiences and opinions from
Mm.
somebody like you with the experience you have, with the level you have. So it's always nice to learn from somebody else like you. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Daniel. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, my pleasure. All right. See you in the next one.
Bye bye. Take care.